So many people find it very difficult to trade OB or to trade imbalance. But today I want to focus on owning imbalance from A to Z. I want to teach you how you can use M15 chart to map out your imbalance for a bigger RR. You use M15 chart to mark the trend of the market. Use M15 to mark the trend. You should know the trend. You should know the structure of the market. It's very, very important. So on any time frame, you can mark structure, being it H1, being it daily, being it 4 hour. Every time frames has its own structure, being it 1 minute, being it seconds chart, they has their own structure. So today I want to tell you guys on how you can mark your structure, knows the trend of the market, and also know where your imbalance locates in the chart. Then after which you identify your imbalance, you move down to a very smaller time frame like 1 minute for you to take your entry. So if this is your first time on this channel, do well to subscribe. So let us go to my screen. Let me show you how you can implement this step by step on this channel. If you want to trade the way we do, fine, join our free Telegram channel, but that is not for this. Let me show you this powerful strategy. You can use this for intraday, you can use it for, it depends on your bigger time frame. Let's get to my screen. Let me share my screen with you. So here is my screen. This is what you should look for. Once you go to your chart, you will see that this market, for you to trade this effectively, you see that this market has been giving you something like this. It created a high, it created a low, it created a high, it created a low, it created a high, it created a low, it created a high, it created a lower low. That is to say, a structure here was broken. We have a break of structure right here. And then once this structure is broken, then the next step you should look out for is at this range, this leg which lead to this break of structure, you should look at this range. You will see that there was an imbalance. What is an imbalance? We have 3 consecutive candles of the same color, but with a gap in between. That is something like this. I've talked about something like this before, but this very one is on your M15. You have a candle, you have a candle, you have a candle. That is to say, you have candle, 3 candles of the same color. You have 3 candles of the same color. Then this candle, there must be a gap in between them, in between this candle. This is to say, this very candle right here, this very candle may have a wick. This very candle may have a wick, something like this. I'm not too good at drawing, but when we go to the main chart, you will understand better. And this very one has a wick, and this wick stop at some point. Then a gap between here and here, which the wick has not gotten into, it is what we call imbalance. Imbalance can be a reversal pattern, it can be a continuation pattern as well. So once we get to our chart, you understand better. So this very setup right here, this very pattern right here, it's a sell scenario. Thereby, once you identify your imbalance around this stage, once you identify your imbalance at this spot, you wait for this market to retest that imbalance. Once the market retains the imbalance, you should move down to your 1 minute and look for an entry, and you sell this market down. So what is the entry you are going to look for? The entry you are going to look for is, you see that your 1 minute will be rallying up. Your 1 minute will be breaking structure to the upside. It broke structure to the upside, it broke structure to the upside. Thereby, it came back and took out liquidity to the downside, which is a break of market structure, which identify a break of market structure to the downside right there. So once that happened, here was a break. We named this spot BOS. So that was our break. Then now on your on your 1 minute here, you will look for your OB around this point and you sell this market down to the initial low. So this is a sell setup. Let us look for a buy setup. If this is your first time on this channel, do well to subscribe. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask your questions. So for our buy setup, we are expecting something like this. We've seen that this market has been coming down. The market has been giving us a lower low and a lower high, coming down. So as this market breaking structure to the downside, it gives a low, it gives a low, it gives a low, it gives a low. At some point, the low stop and the market breaks structure here to the upside. This very trading pattern, it's very simple. It's very simple. If this is what you want to trade, you should go along with it. So once you have a break of market structure to the upside, which we should name here our BOS. We name here our BOS. So once you've gotten your BOS, the number one rule when it comes to this, you should wait for a market to break structure. Your bigger time frame right here, it's your M15. Once a structure is broken, you look down to the leg which the zone which lead to break of structure came from. Then inside this leg, you must see an imbalance. So once you found your imbalance, you wait for the market to pull back to that imbalance. So once this market pull into this imbalance, you have to move to your 1 minute. Once you move to your 1 minute, what are you going to do? Let's see. So on your 1 minute, you see that this market has breaking structure. Once the market comes into the imbalance, it gives you a break of market structure, a BOS, a shift in market direction. Once a shift in market direction has been initiated, then you look for a retest of the OB. You look for a retest of an OB. You take this trade back to the upside, or you look for retest, maybe imbalance around this zone. That is, if you want to use imbalance for your entry, you look for imbalance and take this trade to the upside, or you look for an OB, the last down candle before the break of structure occurred. You look for that and you take this trade back to the upside. So that is what you are going to be looking at. We have talked about the buy setup and also the sell setup. If you learn something on this channel, do well to subscribe, comment. So let us go to our M15 and check out for what we are looking for. So whatever we are going to do, it for us to make use of structure. Structure is very important. So here on our M15, we have to look out and map our structure first. First, we have liquidity gathering up here. We have this liquidity right here gathering. So now we have this market taking out this liquidity, breaking structure to the upside. So after this market has broken structure to the upside, we've seen it created a liquidity zone right here, which happens to be another structure. Then after that happens, this market as well come down to this zone and take down this market and take down that same structure to the downside. So as it take down that structure to the downside, you have to mark this very zone right here as your BOAs. So once you have identified your BOAs, now it is for you to try your best to identify your imbalance. So what did I say is our imbalance? We say that our imbalance is three. It's a candle of the same color, and it has to be three. Once that happens, you should look in between one of them. If you see any gap between them, which the market or the wick of any candle that did not get into the body, so that is our imbalance. So right now we have, let's count our candle. So right, we see a candle here, 1, we see another bearish candle, 2, we see another bearish candle, 3. So right now, let us mark our wick. We see this candle wick right here. This very candle wick is right here. And this other candle wick is right here. So let us map and join all together. So now we join our candle wick right here. We draw it, and we draw this very one. We draw this very one wick. So we have a wick, we have a wick, we have a wick, we have a wick. Then you see this gap in between, this gap that is left on this candle, nothing came into it, it's our imbalance. That is our imbalance. So I have to do this. Now, since you have identified your imbalance, you also identify your BOAs. Let's name here BOAs so that we won't forget. And we also found our BOAs right here. BOAs. Now that we also found our BOAs right here, which is break of market structure, now it is for us to move down to our 1 minute. Do not forget to subscribe. If this is your first time on this channel, I'm Aqua FX. I drop educational and profitable strategy on this channel. So those who do not have an opportunity or the money to buy courses, or to pay any mentor, they can come here and learn any strategy that they wish they can learn. Choose any strategy here, you backtest it, you make it your own, then you are good to go. So that is why I'm here. So whenever I take any trade, you can also see it with me. But I'm on a program which I'm trying to grow a small account, which is $50 to $5,000 or $10,000 in 1 year. So we are still on that account, which we started, I think that was last week. With the account right now, it's on a drawdown. But if you want to join us and see how it goes, you can as well join us. You can join our free Telegram channel. The link will be on the description of this video. If you have any question to ask me, you can also contact me through the link which I will drop on the description of this video. So, but we don't trade all the strategies we posted on this channel. We pick one and we make one our own. So that is what you should do too. You should pick one trading strategy, you backtest it and make it your own. Then if you cannot backtest and check how it goes, you can then go on for mentorship. So that is what we do here. So back to our 1 minute chart. Now we are on our 1 minute chart. Then what do you see? Here was the zone we marked. Here was what we marked. So that is to say, from this range down to that range is my imbalance. From this range right here down here is my imbalance. So you have to wait for this market to come inside your imbalance and give you what you want. What do you want? But as for me, I would like to lift my imbalance to this spot, this very one here. because we have another extreme imbalance which is around this zone, which is around this very zone, extreme imbalance, which is right here around this very zone, because we have 1 2 3 candle, then we have this imbalance right here. So we shift it to that extreme. Then since we've gotten our imbalance right there, we have to wait for the market to come into that imbalance. What do we see? We see a market coming into that imbalance right here. A market came into this imbalance. Once that happened, you should look for a break of market structure. And we have market structure shift at this point. We have market structure shifts at this point. That is to say, the market has breaking structure at that point. That is our BOS right there. This is your M15. So this is our BOS right there. Since you have now gotten your BOS, break of market structure, it is now for you to identify your OB or imbalance. Where is your OB? Your imbalance is right there. Your imbalance is right here, while your OB is right here. So I would like the market to come into either the OB or imbalance for me to take a trade. I'll just sit and fold my hands, then I'll wait for the market to come into my OB for me to take a trade. OB is the last bullish candle that lead to a break of structure. Because this is a bear setup, you should look for a bull candle which lead to a break of structure. So I'll point it out right here. We also have a candle. We also have an inside bar candle right here. So you wait for the market to come inside for you to take your trade, and you place your stop loss above there. So what do you see? The market come inside that OB, which is the line we mark. See that the market came into the OB. So you place your trade right there, you short, you take your short position, you short it right there, your stop loss go above the zone. Your stop loss has to go above the 1 minute zone, which is right here. That is the 1 minute zone. Okay, your stop loss has to go a bit above that 1 minute zone, and you go back to your M15 and look for where you should target. You go back to your 1 minute zone and look for where you should target. 1 minute, or I'm sorry, you go back to your M15, not 1 minute. You go back to M15 and look for where to target. So on your M15, you have a zone right there for you to target. Where is the zone? Here is the zone for you to target. The last, here is where you should target, here. So that will be your first TP. So you TP that zone. That should be your first TP. You can as well look for another zones below for you to TP, but that first TP is very, very important. That gives you 1:5. Then if you should look for another zone, that may give you 1:8 right there. So this is how you can trade this setup. This same approach goes to a buy setup. This same approach goes to a buy setup. So I'll be making video about the buy setup later. I do not want this video to be too long for today. So this is what I said. Let me bring to you guys. This is detailed, no hiding thing. So you can look for this, and you take this market to the downside. When it comes to that 1 minute, you can see that 1 minute pattern plays out around there. The 1 minute, when I said, once you come in, you see the market coming into the structure which you need, then breaking the structure to the downside. Then upon retesting the zone, it's what you should take your trade to the downside. And that was the same thing that happens on the 1 minute. So I remain Aqua FX as I sign out. Peace.